Today I will be talking about Canadians and their government, federal, provincial, and municipal, as part of a civics media assignment. This is the table of contents of which I shall be presenting. Federal, provincial, municipal, comments and opinions for all three levels of government, and editorial cartoons. References that I have used are the London Free Press and the Woodstock Centennial Review newspaper and websites for both of them. This is the federal section. This one is the Tories' planned House renovations, where they are planning to add 30 seats, 18 coming from Ontario, 7 from BC, and 5 from Alberta. The Tories are also planning to melt down 19,000 guns, worth about a total of $7 million. This is the one that I have an opinion on, which is the Tories are planning a War of 1812 bash. The gist of this article is that they are planning to spend about $11 million to basically do a victory dance at Niagara-on-the-Lake about the victories during the War of 1812. This relates to government because the Justice Ministers are there to talk about the War of 1812 and the 150th anniversary of Confederation, which just happened to fall in the same year. And I chose this article because I thought it would be cool to talk about something that we're doing a victory dance for. And my opinion on this is that I think it is really cool, and I don't know which rubs it in the Americans' face more, that we actually have an $11 million for a party, or we're still doing a victory dance 200 years later. This is the provincial section of this media project. This is the Hudak campaign results, and many of his party figured that he could have won the election, so not many people are trusting him right now. This is the NDP results of it, and they are thinking that they made great gains but could have made more with Jack Layton dying this past summer and getting sympathy votes. And this is the Liberal result, and McGuinty is saying how his majority-minority government has a mandate to basically help the people of Ontario further. And this is the one that I have an opinion about. I basically said the gist of the article, so I will say how it relates to government, and that is that it is the Premier of Ontario, so he is in charge of the provincial government. That's how it relates to government. And why I chose this article is because I like the Liberals, and I think they should have the article of choice for the provincial. And my opinion on this is that I think Dalton McGuinty is being a little too arrogant with this and should really rethink his positions to maybe better fit the NDP, since Liberals and Conservatives don't really get along. This is the municipal section. This is the first municipal article, which talks about municipal governments talking about how to handle insurance claims. This is the second article, where it talks about the municipal government and how to deal with some of the most dangerous intersections in Woodstock. And this is the third one, how Oxford County, including Woodstock, is talking about how to handle its aging population. And this relates to government because it's talking about the municipal government planning for the future with its aging population. I chose this one because I think it's very interesting that the municipal government is talking about public health, and that's usually a provincial topic. And my opinion on it is that I think it will be very useful for Woodstock and Oxford County in the next 10 years. This is the federal section for the comments and opinions. This one is tiny because I found it in the newspaper and it was this small. It's the older set C's flag irony. Is talking about how the older people who can remember Lester B. Pearson will laugh at the fact that the Conservatives are now lobbying to get us the right to fly our flag when they fought so hard to destroy that right. This one is the PM Being a Chance to Back Words, where it talks about Section 13 of the Human Rights Act and how it talks about censoring any links to an off-color joke or something that isn't quite politically correct, but it has never really stopped what it was intended to stop. It's just basically a money game. And this one that I have an opinion about is the Queen's new prominence now a throwback to colonialism. And this one talks about how Stephen Harper is saying to 150 Canadian embassies to post a picture of the Queen on their head of state picture. So how this relates to government is that it's the Prime Minister talking about this and how it relates to Canada's government. And why I chose this is because I thought it was cool that the Queen gets mentioned even though we're deemed to be a constitutional monarchy and her role is just mainly symbolic. Even her representative's role is symbolic. And my opinion on this is I think it's good for Canadian morale because we were very intrigued by the royals visiting, so I think it is good that we should continue that tradition of honoring the royals. This is the provincial section of the comments and opinions. This one talks about the negatives of the Liberal campaign in rural areas and how so many PCs and NDPs got elected in those areas. This one talks about the positives of it and how the Liberal government, yes, it needs to talk to rurals and get back their trust, but they did manage to hold on and make it through the election. And this one talks about how, even though that's all true and all that, they need to work and cooperate and make sure that this minority government wasn't destroyed like the federal government. This relates to government because it's talking about all the elected officials for the provincial government. Why I chose this is because I have the exact same opinion. I'm tired of all the elections and attack ads, etc. And my opinion, as I just said, is I agree with the statement because I'm sick and tired of elections and attack ads, attack ads, attack ads. This is the municipal section of the comments and opinions. This one talks about the fiascos at the art gallery and the Southside skating park. This one talks about how the art gallery is going to turn into Fanshawe, then it's not, that whole mess. And this one talks about how, even though all that drama went on, they're basically in their same state as predicted. Art gallery not as used as much, and the skate park completely useless. This relates to government because it's the municipal government's fault for making these and for basically saying that they'll be useful when they're not. Why I chose this is because I have the same opinion as the person. My opinion of it is that I agree. The art gallery always looks like it's under construction whenever I go by it, and the skate park, whenever I see it, is completely empty and nobody is even using it. This is the editorial cartoon section of this. This one talks about the labor issues with the federal government's owned Air Canada. This one is mentioning how money-rich John Bard is, and this one talks about the social deterioration that is slowly happening in Canada, which is the 99% of most Canadians find it hard to get by, while 1% is having it very, very easy and is continually asking the government to tax the poor so that they can help wind the gap. And why I chose this is because I think this is a very important issue that needs to be tackled right away if it's going to be stopped. This relates to the government because I kind of see that they're in the 1% that's taxing everybody to get rich. And my opinion, as I said, is I believe the government is the 1% and we all are the 99% because they keep taxing us more and more and they just keep getting more money. Thank you for enjoying my presentation about Canadians and their government, which involve the federal, provincial, and municipal levels. Please join again when you see my next video as we take an in-depth look on the funny, the serious, and the, in between. Bye!